So in case of pure rolling on a surface, okay, what he says main condition here, suppose if you take initially what the horizontal surface, okay, not the inclined surface, uh, the points in contact will be momentarily at rest, okay, momentarily at rest with respect to the surface. That is the main condition. Means sometimes what they ask, suppose it is one like a running belt, okay, we see even in Tirumala also at the scanning center the running belt, and here on the running belt if you place one spear like this and it is under pure rolling, whereas its velocity of center of mass is VCM and velocity of the surface on which you place, this is actually running belt, it is traveling suppose with some constant velocity V, okay, then it is said to be in pure rolling, means combination of translatory plus rotatory, means momentarily these particles are at rest, okay, when due to, look at the surface in contact has actually two velocities, one due to the translatory motion, other due to the rotatory motion. Due to the translatory motion, I have to write if the velocity of center of mass is VCM, any particle of the body has the same velocity VCM, okay. Since the surface is not at rest, this is the surface running belt, okay, we have to say this VCM with respect to the running belt. With respect to means, look at both are in the same direction. Same direction means I have to say velocity of the particle which is in contact. Suppose this is the particle P. I am saying this is the velocity of P, okay, which is VCM. With respect to, both are in the same direction, means relative velocity is minus V. So it is the relative velocity of the particle P, which is translatory velocity. And here, due to the rotatory motion, you will get here the tangential velocity here due to the rotation. That is, if its angular velocity is omega or omega. Okay, what I am saying, this velocity, translatory velocity, better we write here it as a translatory velocity. Okay, at the point P, here the condition should be equals to 0. Means velocity of the point P should be equals to 0 in pure rolling motion. Okay, why? Because momentarily they are at rest. That implies I have to say VCM minus V with respect to the surface is equals to R omega. This is the condition when the body is said to be in pure rolling only, not in all cases, Nana. Keep in mind. Okay. And here, those points are momentarily at rest means, keep in mind, while rolling, there is no movement to the surface. Means the spear, whatever you placed on the surface, it is not slipping here. It is just moving forward and rolling like this without slipping. Okay, if there is slipping, it tries to slip back or slip forward and try to move forward like with the rotatory motion. Okay, there is no slippery here at the point P. Means there is no movement for the particle P when it comes in contact with the surface. Okay, that's why if they ask what type of friction acts here, if this is rough surface, if the surface is rough, then what will be the type of friction here if they ask? That friction, I say, it is static friction. Okay. And here, that static friction generally we represent with the Fs number. Right? And if it is smooth, there is no frictional force. Okay. Then here major conditions what they ask. here for pure rolling, one, if it is in rolling motion here with some constant velocity VCM with some constant angular velocity omega, what is the major condition if they ask? Okay. Number one, what we say here on this, which is in pure rolling manner, actually there I am not applying any force. That's why here the force acting any point, external force, equals to 0. So what are the forces acting on here? If you ask, this is suppose smooth, okay, there is no force on the surface. F, either internal like friction or external acting at any point, total external plus internal equals to 0. Okay. If there are no forces here, internal means keep in mind like friction, what I am saying. Then here no force is acting. Newton's first law says the velocity should be constant. Then VCM is equals to constant. First what we say. And number two, to change the angular velocity, we require torque. Torque you will get from F into R, perpendicular distance. Here total, either external or internal, all together is 0. That's why here in this case I say torque also equals to 0. Okay. Torque is equals to 0. Yesterday we discussed the angular momentum remains constant. Angular momentum means I omega equals to constant. That implies here omega is equals to constant. So if it is smooth surface, already started the rolling motion, means we gave this omega, we gave this velocity and placed on the smooth surface. That VCM won't be changed, omega won't be changed. Okay. In that case, suppose if I ask what will be its total kinetic energy. Okay. Kinetic energy, I have to say due to the translated motion of m VCM square plus due to the rotatory motion of I omega square. Okay. And here the surface which is smooth, not like a running belt, generally on the floor velocity will be 0, v equals to 0. So if you see the condition, Nana, if the surface is at rest, means v is equals to 0, we will get VCM is equals to R omega. That's why here the condition at the points in contact with the surface here should be VCM is equals to R omega. Okay, generally we take this case if the surface is at rest. Okay, VCM is equals to R omega means here the omega can be replaced with VCM or VCM can be replaced with omega. That is your wish. So here if I write half m VCM square plus half I, moment of inertia, generally we write mk square, where k is the radius of gyration, mk square into omega square, I can write here VCM square by R square. So generally you are getting one formula there. If you require the formula for kinetic energy of course you can use this one straight away. Just we are trying to extract one shortcut like half m VCM square into here 1 plus you are getting k square by R square. This is the total kinetic energy of rolling body. Okay. This one you can say in terms of half I omega square also. In terms of half I omega square means half in place of m, I write I by k square. Why? Because I is equals to mk square. Okay. I is equals to mk square means m can be replaced with I by k square. And here VCM is replaced with R omega. VCM square means R square omega square plus this whole term. M is changed, VCM is changed. Plus here I write it is half I omega square. Look at here, Nana. If I take half I omega square common, I will get this total thing is taken out. So 1 plus here I am getting R square by K square. So you can use even this formula also if they ask the total kinetic energy in terms of rotational energy. Okay. And here these type of equations where they are helpful for us while solving the numericals. Okay. So suppose if I ask on the smooth surface or rough surface something there, then I will say here, suppose this is one body which is rolling in pure rolling. Okay. And it is suppose he said one solid sphere. Okay. Just he said it is a solid sphere and nothing is given. What will be the, it is in pure rolling. Pure rolling means on a smooth or rough surface, it is just like a ground, not a running belt. Means here the velocity of the surface is 0. Okay. And here on the surface, VCM is not given, omega is not given. Since it is like a horizontal, some smooth or rough surface which is at rest, there we can write the condition VCM is equals to R omega. Just we can write one condition for pure. That's it. Okay. Then if they ask what will be its total kinetic energy, means the total rolling kinetic energy, okay, which is a part of translatory and rotator. Okay, means what he is asking, suppose translatory kinetic energy, if you understand, I am saying translatory kinetic energy say some 5 joules now. Rotational kinetic energy is 7 joules. So total energy is 12 joules, 7 plus 5. So part of translatory kinetic energy in the total kinetic energy is how much part? 5 by 12. Just like fraction he is asking. And in the same way, what will be the part of rotational kinetic energy? The fraction is 7 by 12. Likewise, he is asking, means simply what he is asking, what is the fraction of translatory kinetic energy in the total and rotational kinetic energy in the total. Okay. There, if you see here, in this case, what you are telling, the fraction is 1 by 1 plus k square by r square. This is the translatory kinetic energy fraction. And rotational fraction is 1 by 1 plus r square by k square. Where k square by r square, you told that it is for solid sphere 2 by 5. So r square by k square, it should be 5 by 2. That's it. If you substitute, you will get the answers. So this part, you know, very good. And then here, suppose if it is the rough surface, okay, and on the rough surface it is rolling, right? What will be the friction between the two surfaces in contact? On this surface, suppose one sphere is rolling, okay, here with some velocity VCM, at that instant the omega, angular velocity is omega. Then what will be the friction? Here I am asking. Okay. So look at, translatorily it is having some velocity towards right. Means generally what is the property of friction? It tries to reduce the velocity. That's why friction will act in opposite direction here. Okay. But the particles are momentarily at rest. These points. Okay. There, what he is asking, the friction. Okay. That friction you can extract in two ways, Nana. Okay, so that one, method one I am saying here, how to get that friction. Here it is a combination of translatory and rotatory, Nana. So keep in mind, every time you can use, means you have the flexibility to use the translatory equations like F is equals to ma, okay, or the rotational equations like tau is equals to I alpha or L is equals to R cross P or I omega, or due to the translatory motion P is equals to mv, like such type of translatory and rotatory equations you can use here. So in method one, suppose if I see what will be the net force acting on the body, there is no external force, but some internal force is there, friction, that is in opposite direction to VCM. So in free body diagram, that friction reduces the speed. So it is the retarding force. F is equals to, I have to write, this is the total force acting on the body, okay, which is equals to, I write here, MA formula. Okay, so A, you are trying to change the velocity of center of mass. So I have to write here ACM. So F is equals to, I am going to write M ACM, equation 1. And number 2, here this friction tries to change the omega also. Why? Because here this is the direction of omega. This friction is acting at the point tangentially here, okay, for the point. And suppose while rotating here about this axis, if I calculate the torque, okay, the friction is at some perpendicular distance, say r, okay. So the torque acting on it due to this axis of rotation, F into the perpendicular distance is r. So the torque is equals to F into R. That should be equals to I alpha, our formula, general formula. Okay. Then you are getting here this F into R is equals to I alpha, means already I told here the VCM in pure rolling is equals to R omega when the surface is at rest. Okay. So here VCM is equals to R omega, where radius of the body does not change. Why? Because we take the rigid bodies. So if you differentiate at an instant, you will get, by differentiating VCM, you will get ACM is equals to R into dV by dt is A, d omega by dt is alpha. ACM is equals to R alpha. So you can replace alpha in the second equation with the ACM by R, or in the first equation you can replace ACM with R alpha. Anyone you can do now. Okay. So in the second equation, suppose F into R is equals to I into alpha is replaced with ACM by R. Then I will get F is equals to I into ACM by R square amplitude, that are taken to the right hand side. Okay, you got the friction now. Okay, sir, ACM I don't know, sir. Okay, ACM you can find out from here now. F is equals to MA. Okay, so from there you can find out here what the torque. Okay, sorry, the friction here. Right? This is one model, Nana, which is you are writing F is equals to what? I, you can write it as mk square also, Nana. Okay, mk square into ACM by R square. Right? So here to find out the friction, first of all, what do you want the here the friction, if you see there, look at F is equals to, you are getting MACM into K square by R square now. From this equation. Okay, if I see. Right? Practically what is happening there? The surface is not perfect flat here to maintain pure rolling. Otherwise, it won't maintain pure rolling here. What I explained. Why? Because here, instant to instant, the frictions are not equal. If you see there, okay. So these two are not equal means it is giving some contradictory information for us, right? That's why what I say there here, if the surface, front surface is flat while moving forward, by this instead of acting the normal reaction, of course perpendicular to the surface in contact, passing through the center, it will act a bit ahead, okay, towards the motion of the body, okay, not towards means it won't shift back now, it will shift forward. By that, what happened here, whatever you are writing, the F is equals to M into ACM, retarding force. Of course, it is negative if you want to write. Why? Because force is acting in opposite direction to the motion. Okay, you can apply, no problem. And here, look at this friction is giving the torque clockwise, and the body is also moving in the clockwise direction. But the normal reaction, if you see here, okay, by assuming the axis at the center, it is the direction of position vector and it is the direction of normal reaction, torque R cross F. If you see there, the torque due to normal reaction will act in anti-clockwise direction. Okay, so instead of one torque, practically we are getting two torques there. Okay, two torques means here we are doing, theoretically it is correct by considering it is a rigid body, but it is practically not happening. That's why when we come to practical thing, there I have to write two torques. Okay, BCM is decreasing means omega should be decreased. Omega should be decreased accordingly means the normal reaction should create some torque more than the torque produced by the friction. Suppose normal reaction is acting at a perpendicular distance of say some x from the center, then here the torque due to normal reaction will be force into the perpendicular distance which is x. Okay, this is anti-clockwise torque minus this is clockwise torque now. So opposite direction minus means I am writing tau 1 bar plus tau 2 bar. Tau 1 bar over plus tau 2 bar. It is in opposite direction. So I am putting here negative sign. Tau 2 bar due to friction force into the perpendicular distance from axis of rotation I am taking here, it is R. Okay, so I am taking here F into R is equals to, this is the net torque which is a tau. Tau is equals to, we write IR. Okay, now you can solve the two equations. F is equals to MACM. This is N into X minus F into R is equals to, there is a chance here to go with a pure rolling without slipping. Okay, why? Because instant to instant the VCM is decreasing, omega is decreasing, provided you are not applying any force. Means like after starting the car, we switch off the engine, that time we observe the omega, the angular velocity of tires will be decreased, the linear velocity of the car will be decreased, and finally the car will come to rest. Means it is a practical thing. That time, instant to instant, the car is in pure rolling only. Pure rolling means I can write alpha is equals to, from this equation, ACM by R. Now you can solve the two equations to get your answer. Okay, this is the practical story now, right? And the last part here. Then here, if I come to the continuation, by applying the force on this body, this may be either ring, any rolling body. Already I told rolling bodies are ring, disc, sphere, solid or hollow sphere, solid or we have 6 bodies which are in pure, which can maintain the pure rolling. Okay, then any body, if you take its moment of inertia considered as some I nano. Okay, in that case, when force is applied at the top, what will be, suppose I ask, the friction or the acceleration, okay, means the acceleration is constant, Nana. It is neither decreasing nor increasing. What will be the acceleration? And what will be the alpha? If you know ACM, you can find out alpha. From ACM is equals to R alpha. Why? Because it is in pure rolling. And what will be the friction here at the surface is important. Okay. Now, if you see here, it is moving forward at an instant. The velocity is VCM, Nana, and it is the angular velocity. Then here, to reduce this velocity first, generally you assume the friction is in opposite direction. Okay. So here, if you see the translatory equation, how many forces are acting there? If you observe, one is F in the direction of motion, other is F in opposite direction, but it is moving forward only. Moving forward means I am considering F is greater than F. So F net I write F minus F. Okay. F minus F is equals to what I have to write? The net force, which is M into A. That is MACM. This is a translatory equation. In the same way, suppose if I ask rotatory equation. Rotational equation means here I have to write torque. Torque. Here by assuming again here the axis of rotation. Okay. Look at this force is acting at a perpendicular distance, luckily at the top. That's why the perpendicular distance I know now, it is exactly the radius of the body. Okay. And here friction is also acting tangential at the other end. So here the perpendicular distance is again R. So if you see there, I can find two torques, Nana. Here, by assuming the axis at the center means, look at, it is the position vector from the origin. This is R bar, Nana. R bar cross F bar means it will create anti-clockwise torque, means supporting omega. Whereas look at here, from axis, from origin, we have to take the position vector. This is R bar upwards. R bar cross F bar towards right. R bar cross F bar. It is creating clockwise. It is creating anti-clockwise torque. Okay. It is also supporting what the omega. So both are creating the torque in the same direction. Clockwise torque with clockwise torque. Okay. So both are increasing the omega, and since F is greater than F, F is increasing the VCM. So VCM is increasing and alpha is also increasing. So the car will accelerate forward without any slipping. Okay. In that case, here I have to write total torque, which is I alpha is equals to total torque. Here, due to first force, clockwise torque, force into perpendicular distance, Fr. Other one is also clockwise torque. So plus, both are in the same direction, plus F into the perpendicular distance from axis is R. So F into R is equals to I alpha. And he is saying instant to instant it is in pure rolling only. Pure rolling means I can replace alpha with ACM by R. Okay. Then in this case I can write, Nana, if I take R common, F plus F, by taking R to the other hand, I can write F plus F is equals to IACM by R square. Okay. And whereas I got first equation F minus F is equals to their MACM. So if you solve the two equations, like just writing F minus F is equals to MACM. Okay. F generally they give. So I require F, Nana. Right? That's why here to find out F, I subtract the two equations. Okay. To eliminate F, I subtract F minus F. And here this becomes 2F is equals to, I am going to get by taking ACM common. ACM into, by subtracting I by R square minus F. Okay. If you write I as mk square, Nana, you can take m also common. So 2f is equals to, I am going to get by taking m also common, MACM into, I am going to get k square by r square minus 1. Okay, therefore I am getting f. F is equals to MACM by 2 into k square by r square minus 1 if they require the friction. Okay, sir, I require ACM, sir. If you require ACM, then just add these two equations. You can eliminate unknown f. Then here by adding means 1 plus 2 if you take, then you will get 2f is equals to, by adding these two equations, you will get a ACM common. You will get what, Nana? I by r square plus m. Again, if you write I is equals to mk square, again m can be taken out, MACM into 1 plus r k square by r. This is 2f now. Therefore, f is equals to, I am getting MACM or ACM is equal, okay, anything. F is equals to MACM by 2 into 1 plus k square by r. Okay. By that you can find out, if you know f, you can find out ACM now. Okay. Then here my question is, why don't you write in method 2 practically, actually, while rolling this body on the surface, of course, you apply the force tangentially at the top. This is the applied force. And it is the friction, what we took, right? And here, practically, this point is not at rest. The axis here, if you take at the center, during the rolling, this point also moves forward. It has some linear velocity. But what he said, the condition for pure rolling, the points in contact with the ground are at rest. Okay. So if I take the axis of rotation there, okay, truly speaking, since those points are at rest, so I practically take the axis of rotation there. It is the axis of rotation. Since those points are at rest, okay, momentarily, instant to instant, then how can you write here the two equations? Okay, wherever you take the axis of rotation, translatory equation won't change. Why? Because it requires net force. Net force is F minus F as usual. So I can write here F minus F is equals to, if you see there, equals to MACM, first equation. And if I take the axis of rotation here, look at friction is passing through the axis of rotation. That's why friction can't create any torque. Torque due to friction is 0. But F is not passing through the axis of rotation. It is maintaining some perpendicular distance, if you see here. That perpendicular distance is exactly equal to diameter. Okay. And from axis of rotation means from the origin, if you take the position vector like this, R cross F means it is trying to create clockwise torque. Clockwise torque supporting the omega, happily that F is increasing the velocity, increasing the omega. Both are increasing, car is accelerating, no problem at all without slipping. So in this case, the clockwise torque only F into, I have to write 2R, perpendicular distance is 2R, is equals to, that is the net torque, equals to what I have to write, I into alpha, where I take care now. I is equals to the moment of inertia of the body here about a point here, which is a tangent and perpendicular to the plane of the body. About a tangent. Tangent means we have to apply the parallel axis theorem. Parallel axis theorem, I have to write ICM plus MR square. Okay, so the moment of inertia about this axis, why? Because I took the axis here. So about that axis, I have to say the moment of inertia. Moment of inertia, I have to write here ICM plus the mr square. M into the perpendicular distance is exactly equals to the radius mr square into alpha. That is f into 2r is equals to ICM. If I write it as mk square, okay, ICM now passing through the center, plus mr square into alpha. If I write it as ACM by r, since ACM is equals to R alpha in pure rolling, alpha is equal to ACM by R, then I will get here, look at F is equals to, by taking M common, ACM already common, into you will get what? K square plus R square by R. This R is also taken to the denominator, R square, 2 also taken to the denominator, 2R square. Means you are getting here MACM by 2 into, if I split R square by R square 1 plus K square by R square. So look at the two equations now. You got the same answer. Here in the method 1, by taking the translatory equation and rotatory equation and solving those two, you got the same answer. Okay. Here look at, I did not use this equation. Okay. Just with the rotatory equation, I got the S. By that, I got ACM. Okay. In this method, what is the disadvantage? If you assume the axis of rotation here, you can't find the F with the rotatory equation. Okay. To find out that F, we have to use again further this equation. What will be the friction? Okay. There you can substitute this value and you will get that friction, same equation number. Means the friction is equals to F minus ACM, MACM. Okay. If you substitute F is equal to MACM by 2 into the whole thing, this thing, and subtract, you will get the same equation, MACM into K square by R square minus 1. Okay. The same thing you will get here now. Okay, sorry, MACM by 2. So here look at, in method 1 by assuming the axis at the center, or in method 2 by assuming the axis of rotation here at this point practically, you have to assume actual axis of rotation here only now. Why? Because these points are at rest, those points are not at rest. Okay, but to get some other unknown physical quantity, we are assuming the axis of rotation here. Okay, in both the methods we are getting the same answer. Okay, if you want to find out ACM, I think the method 2 is the simplest way to find out now. Anywhere, not only here, anywhere in pure rolling. Okay, here suppose this is one body which is in pure rolling, means I gave some omega and I gave some v, okay, and placed on a smooth surface. Okay, since it is smooth surface, there is no friction and there is no applied, any external applied forces. The v won't change, omega won't change. Okay, suppose if I place in its path one inclined surface like this. Okay, first, easiest way, if it is fixed. Okay, it is fixed means it can't move when it comes to that inclined surface. Okay, to what maximum height it raises? Here, if I ask to what height it raises, means when it comes to here, suppose at one instant, while going up, considering this surface first as smooth. Okay, right? Take care, Nana, while solving, it is not a case of sliding, it is rolling. Okay, it is in pure rolling. And I said this surface is smooth. Surface is smooth means even though this body tries to enter here onto this inclined surface, there is no friction. If there is no friction, obviously there will be no torque. Okay, no torque means here the omega won't change. Okay, try to remember. Right? Okay, so the omega here does not change and that omega will be same, and here the velocity while going up that will be decreased. It is the problem. Velocity will be decreased means while it is going against gravity, and here this is smooth surface, there is no friction, and while going up velocity gradually decreases because of the thing g sine theta, like downwards. Okay, so here the velocity will be 0 at this point, suppose. Then you can say it reaches to what maximum height. Okay, there what I am saying, it is suppose while going at this instant it starts with some v, given v. There finally the final velocity is equals to 0. Okay, but here there is no friction. There still it is spinning with some constant angular velocity omega. That omega does not change. Okay, that omega does not change means here no work against friction. That's why straight away there is no loss of energy. You can apply law of conservation of energy. Law of conservation of energy means here the total energy, it is on the ground. Potential energy is 0 plus kinetic energy I have to write half mv square plus half I omega square. Okay, this is the total energy. And when it comes to a height h, it raises to height h means potential energy mgh plus I have to write the kinetic energy of this one. I can't write 0 Translatory kinetic energy is 0 plus still rotational kinetic energy is there half I omega square. So if you see there that half I omega square, both sides get cancelled, it is appear like a body sliding over the surface. To what maximum height it raises means by cancelling m term here, half v square is equals to, you are getting gh, v is equals to appear like root of 2gh. Okay. In that case, suppose if I ask the surface is rough, then we have to come to the concept of the motion of a rolling body on the rough inclined surface which is fixed. Okay. For that case, suppose the concept I am going to explain here, Nana. Suppose this is one inclined surface of inclination theta, and here on the inclined surface, if you leave one body here, and here that body tries to come down in with rotatory motion, some angular velocity and some with linear velocity here, pure rolling. It is in pure rolling. And here the surface is rough. Okay. Then in this case, if you see the acceleration of the body, okay, you can calculate using the equation of what? Translatory equation. Okay. Here the force means one is mg sine theta. Okay. Other is, since it is rough, frictional force mg sine theta minus f is the net force. It is coming down. So mg sine theta should be greater than f. And here minus f is equals to net force. I write m ACM. From that I have to calculate ACM. Okay. And since f is unknown, sir, there here many times we get some doubt, particularly in rolling motion. Why SAR is writing every time the second rotatory equation to find out the f? Why don't we apply f is equals to mu into n? Okay. Here, in case of pure rolling, what I said, these points which are in contact with the surface are at rest. At rest means this should be a static friction. Static friction we never say equals to mu s into n. Fs is not equals to mu s into n. That's why here don't try to substitute f is equals to mu s into n. or simply mu into n, and try to write ACM is equals to again n, that is of course mg cos theta. Normal reaction is equals to mg cos theta. So if you substitute that one, ACM you will get is equals to g into sine theta minus mu cos theta. It is actually for a body sliding on the surface, not rolling, sliding in the friction chapter. Okay, but in this case we can't substitute F is equals to mu into n, Nana. Why? Because it is while rolling, the points are momentarily at rest, the force is static. That's why we can't write Fs is equals to mu s into n. That's why here we found two unknowns, Nana. So we require obviously the second equation to solve. That is the torque. Torque here, suppose if I assume the axis of rotation at the center, then I will get here the torque. Axis of rotation is perpendicular distance to the friction is r. The second equation you will get F into r is equals to I alpha. I means mk square into alpha. From there you have to write the friction. F is equals to mk square into alpha by r, where alpha we write A by r. So you are getting the friction number that we substitute here, and we will get the known equation. What mg sine theta minus, that implies F from there if you substitute, which is ma into k square by r square is equals to macm, means that same A only here. And then we will get A is equals to, by taking this term to the other hand, I think you know this equation, ACM is equals to mg sine theta divided by, you will get, okay, if you take MACM common, Nana. Okay, MACM common, you will get 1 plus k square by r square, that I will take to the denominator, 1 plus k square by r square. If I cancel m, I will get ACM, which is g sine theta by 1 plus k square by r. Okay. From that ACM, here, if you calculate what will be the velocity at bottommost point if it starts from the top. Okay. If it starts from the top here, while coming down, the velocity will be changed, angular velocity will be changed. Why? Because two forces are there, Nana. Mg sine theta and friction, both are there. Okay, so velocity will be increased, angular velocity will also be changed according to this equation, and here it will get some velocity at the bottom. That velocity we write Vcm is equals to, since ACM is constant, everything constant, Nana, here no variable is there. Okay, so you can apply the equations like v square minus u square is equals to 2as. V square, suppose it is started from rest at the highest point, v square minus u square is equals to 2a, okay, into s. S is the length of inclined plane. Yeah. Okay. If you know the height h, you can write here the sine theta is equals to again h by l. So h is equals to l sine theta, and you can replace Vcm square is equals to 2g h by 1 plus k square by r square. Okay. Here, my question is, if I ask what will be the total kinetic energy at this point, generally what we write, that kinetic energy at the bottom post point, at the bottom. If I ask, generally, sir, it is in rolling motion, sir. Yeah, here it is very simple, sir. We can write half mVcm square plus half I omega square. If I take common, 1 plus k square by r square. Okay. That is the kinetic energy at the bottom, right? And from this equation also, look at, Nana, Vcm I took, okay? Here, directly I did not write the kinetic energy. There I wrote the kinetic energy, Nana. Here I am not writing the kinetic energy straight away. I found the Vcm and I am trying to write the kinetic energy. Means take the 2 to the other hand, that becomes half Vcm square is equals to gh by 1 plus k square by r square, multiplying both sides with m, and here look at, by taking the cross multiplication, I will get from here half mvcm square into 1 plus k square by r square I got is equals to mgh. Means what you understood there, the kinetic energy at the bottom point is equals to the potential energy at the highest point. Means here whatever the energy it possesses, that energy is completely transformed into kinetic energy at the bottommost point, is completely transformed into kinetic energy at bottommost point. Means in the meanwhile there is no loss of energy. Okay, there is no loss of energy means even though friction is there, the energy lost against friction is zero. That's why loss of energy here I say, if they ask in exam, loss of energy in pure rolling, I say zero. That implies work done by the friction on the inclined surface is equals to zero. Okay. So here, even though the surface is rough, against friction, no energy is lost. If there is no loss of energy, happily you can apply on the inclined plane the law of conservation of energy. What I proved here. Okay, whatever the kinetic energy at the bottommost point is equals to, here the kinetic energy is zero, Nana, at the highest point. Means simply this is nothing but what the total energy, here potential energy is zero. The total energy at bottommost point is equals to the total energy at the highest point. At the highest point, I assumed initial velocity is zero. Otherwise, here I have to write the kinetic energy also. Here potential energy is zero. So 0 plus this part is equals to mgh plus 0. Means that is law of conservation of energy only, Nana. Total energy at the bottommost point is equals to total energy at the highest point, even though the inclined surface is rough. Okay. So if I complete this concept here, okay, I think you know this formula, no need to explain, and you know that formula VCM also, I think you know it, and that one also I wrote here. And I think, I don't know whether you know this concept or not, work done by the friction is equals to zero. Okay, that concept, in what way it is helpful for you here in this problem, sir? If you ask here, without doing anything, Nana, in this problem, what I ask next, if the surface it is fixed, okay, and the surface is here rough, and it is a body, okay, here rolling on the smooth surface with v and angular velocity omega, okay. Suppose if it enters onto the rough surface, okay, it raises to what maximum height if they ask? Okay, you can't say v is equal to root of 2gh. Okay, in this case, you can apply what I said, the law of conservation of energy. Why? Because even though it is rough, we found the loss of energy due to friction equals to zero. So there is no loss, whatever the energy it possesses, which is nothing but half mvcm square into 1 plus k square by r square here, is equals to, suppose it raises to a height till here or some height h, okay, equals to mgh. Then you can find out what is h from this equation. Okay, now straight away you can say that height is equals to vcm square by 2g into 1 plus k square by r square, by cancelling the mass term. So here you observe the height raised is independent of mass. Okay, but it depends upon what? The k square by r square. Okay, that k square by r square luckily is same for ring and hollow sphere, sorry, hollow cylinder. Ring and hollow cylinder k square by r square, I think you remembered. I about the axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane is mr square for the ring and mr square for hollow cylinder. I is mk square, that is equals to mr square. So k square by r square is equals to 1. And that k square by r square is equals to half for disk as well as solid cylinder. Why? Because I is equals to mr square by 2. So k square by r square is equals to half. And that k square by r square, no need to say. That is equals to 2 by 3 for hollow cylinder, and 2 by 5 as a hollow sphere, and 2 by 5 for solid sphere. I think you remember all these things. Okay. From there, you can calculate what will be the height, even though they mention some body here, like a ring or disc, something rolled here, to what maximum height it raises. Okay. It will be easier, Nana. Okay. If you know the concept, work done by the friction is equals to 0. Right? And here on the inclined surface, if they ask what is the friction, then you can use simply, Nana, the two equations. From there we can find out the friction, Nana. On the inclined surface, when a body is like rolling down or rolling up here, okay, luckily on the inclined surface, without using any integrations and without using friction, we found the heights, to what height they raise, applied the law of conservation of energy. But to find out the friction, we require some equations. Now, from law of conservation of energy, we can't find the friction. Why? Because work done by the friction is 0 there. On the inclined surface, don't take in all cases. On the inclined surface, we got the work done by friction is equals to 0. Okay. So in exam, don't put in all cases. So here on this inclined surface, work done by the friction is 0. So first equation, what I write, this is mg sin theta, and as usual this is friction. So first equation, you know, mg sin theta minus f is equals to ma. I can't write f is equals to mu into n. Why? Because it is static, already I told. And by assuming the axis here, the torque due to friction, F into R is equals to I alpha. I means the axis is taken at the center, so that is ICM. I passing through the center. For the body, it is mk square. In pure rolling, we write alpha is equals to A by R. That is equals to F into R. So you got the answer. F is equals to what? Mk square by R square into A. This A again, no need to extract, and already you previously had what in the eraser part, and you know it ACM on the inclined surface is G sin theta by 1 plus K square by R square, already derived. Okay, that ACM, if you substitute there, F is equals to, here we write mk square by R square, okay, into A. A is G sin theta by 1 plus K square by R. This is like K square by R square by 1 plus K square by R square. Again, divide numerator and denominator with K square by R square. Then you will get 1 by here, K square by R square by K square by R square is 1 plus 1 by K square by R square is R square by K square. You will get the friction like this. Mg sin theta by 1 plus R square by K square. Okay. And here, this is the friction, and that friction, I say, is actually means mg sin theta by here 1 plus R square by K square, whatever you calculate this friction. Okay, here not to get the slippery motion on the surface, it should be always less than FMS or at least equals to FMS. Maximum static frictional force. If this mg sin theta by 1 plus R square by K square, whatever you calculated here, is suppose greater than FMS, okay, then it will try to means slide. Means what I am saying indirectly, FMS should be greater than or equal to mg sin theta by 1 plus R square by K square. Okay. Means this F should be less than FMS or at least equals to FMS, about to slide. Okay. Suppose it is about to slide, but it is not sliding in pure rolling only, but about to slide. Okay. At that case, I can write FMS is equals to mu s into n. Okay. At that time, this is equals to means mg sin theta by 1 plus r square by k square is equals to FMS. F is equals to FMS. So F is equals to F is mg sin theta by 1 plus r square by k square is equals to mu s into n. Okay, or otherwise if you take this condition, here we have to write greater than or equal to mg sin theta by 1 plus r square by k square. Already you know it, FMS can be written as mu s into n. So here FMS has mu s into n, I think you know, mg cos theta is greater than or equal to mg sin theta by 1 plus r square by k square. Okay, now you are getting even what will be the coefficient of static friction. If they ask, it should be greater than or equal to mg cancel sin theta by cos theta, which is not equal to tan theta. Tan theta by you are getting 1 plus r square by k. Okay, here mu s should be greater than or equal to, he is saying. So the mu s minimum value, if they ask, minimum equal to, or the value should be greater than. So mu s minimum, you are getting the value tan theta by 1 plus r square by k square. So in exam, if they ask either F or FMS condition, okay, or mu s condition or mu s minimum condition, you can use this formula to solve those numericals. Okay, so here you can observe that the mu s minimum for rolling is tan theta by 1 plus r square by k square, and that mu s for sliding is tan theta in friction chapter. So if mu s is equals to tan theta, the body slides. Okay, if mu s minimum is equals to tan theta by 1 plus r square by k square or greater than tan theta by 1 plus r square by k square, then it will roll. That is the difference between pure rolling and the slippery rolling. Slipping and rolling. Okay, this is one case, Nana. Okay, above. So here, suppose if I ask, okay, I am going to say the last one here. That is, in the same model, Nana, if it is not fixed, means considering this total surface is smooth. Okay, and the wedge, whatever you place, is not fixed. Okay, and it is one body rolling on the surface with some velocity v. That velocity won't change until it comes to here. Okay, and here this surface I am taking it as smooth. If it is rough, already I told here. Okay, to what maximum height it raises. And here suppose it is smooth, and consider this surface is also smooth, like here now. Okay, smooth, and this surface is also smooth, but here it is fixed, then it is not fixed, freely left. Okay, then what happens while coming to this surface here and trying to climb over on the inclined surface? The problem is when it tries to climb up, the wedge also starts moving. Why? Because it is placed on the smooth surface. Problem is here normal reaction acts on the body towards the sphere and on the wedge here towards the surface, and in that one component here, if it is theta, then it will be like n sin theta acts towards right. Okay, means n cos theta down and n sin theta towards right. N sin theta tries to push the wedge towards right. So here problem is when it is trying to climb up, wedge also moves. Okay, then he is asking on the wedge, it raises to what maximum height? Okay, if they ask, then my question is, okay, it is sliding. Suppose it comes to some other position from there. Okay, means it also starts moving forward. At that instant, suppose the sphere and the wedge both acquire the same final velocity. Suppose you take it as some u0, then no confusion, initial velocity. If they get the same velocity, then with respect to the wedge, the sphere velocity is 0. Both are in the same direction, relative velocity will be 0. If the relative velocity with respect to the wedge is 0, it stops there and it won't further climb up. It will be the maximum height reached. Okay. If you understand that concept, Nana, here, then again you can solve. Anywhere there is no friction, no loss of energy. So happily you can apply the law of conservation of energy there. Okay. And here initially the total energy at this point according to law of conservation of energy half mu square plus half I omega square, that is 1 plus k square by r square, since it is a rolling body. Okay. So this is the total energy at this point, and potential energy is 0. And when it comes to that height, potential energy is mgh. Here you have to write wisely now. Okay. That is, here the kinetic energy of the body is half mv square. And look at previously already I told here, there is no friction. So angular velocity does not change. So there half I omega square is also there. Okay. And the wedge also is in motion. Suppose mass of wedge is m. Then its kinetic energy we have to write half capital M into v square. Since both are traveling with the same velocity. Okay. Suppose if you write this one as half mu square plus half I omega square, if you write, then you can solve this question. Okay. Understood? This is the way how to solve when the surface is smooth. Okay. One model I explained here, Nana.